Most people think an emergency car kit means jumper cables and a spare tire, and that's the whole plan. And look, those things do matter, but if that's all you've got when something goes wrong on a cold highway, no signal, no shoulder, you are not prepared. So in this video, I'm walking through the emergency gear that actually belongs in your car, not just the stuff that looks good in the store, the stuff that actually works. And I've got a couple of EDC gadgets in here that most people aren't carrying. One of them is a budget tactical flashlight. I've been running for around 3 months now, and the cost of it is just under $30. I'll show you exactly what that is later in this video. All right, let's get to it. All right, let's talk about why most car kits fail. The problem is simple. People build their kits for one scenario: dead batteries, flat tire, and those things do happen, but real emergencies don't care about your scenarios. You may be stuck in a snowstorm, you might have a medical situation, or you just may need to signal a rescue vehicle at 2 in the morning. So I built this kit around one question. If something actually goes wrong, not a flat tire, but something real, does this kit keep the people in my car safe? All right, so what I have here is just a standard Pelican case. I'm not even really sure if it is actually Pelican or not, but I got this on Facebook Marketplace. I think it was like $15 or something, but this will do. So everything in here was chosen to help protect myself and my family. Let's go ahead and open this up. And very first thing we're going to talk about here is the portable tire inflator. So the reason why this is important, because if you have a low or a flat tire on a highway with most common emergencies, you're just basically waiting for AMA or anything like that. I have the Fanttik 100 Apex. It's very easy to use. It does have settings on here, and it's really great. You just set the PSI whatever you want, inflate the tire, and that is it. When I was using this, I found that this probably could fill up 2, possibly 3 tires. So if you just do have one low pressure tire, this will definitely do. So get yourself a portable tire inflator. Next up, I'm going to pull this back in. As a first responder, I do take my first aid kit seriously. I'm always wondering what the emergency is, how long help will take if I am stranded somewhere. I've always say that when you do carry an emergency car kit or anything at all, if you are worried or if you have any indication that first responders will take longer, that's why you want to beep this up. Here are some of the things. I have some bobby pins, so if you want to secure down some bandages or anything like that. I have my tourniquet. Very important, especially if you're stranded, if you are encountering an emergency situation that does present itself using a tourniquet. Now, just full disclaimer, get yourself a good tourniquet. Don't get some of those ones on Amazon, and make sure you know how to use it. You can look up some of your local first aid courses in your area, but please make sure how to use a tourniquet. Also, I have on here some hemostatic gauze. If I do need to pack some wounds, if I'm bleeding out or somebody else is bleeding out, I have some medical shears. And behind here, I also have an emergency blanket on here, bandages. I have some medication like Tylenol, pain medication. I do have some antihistamine that you can take. On here, I have a lot of bandages. I have medical tape. And yeah, the big things that I added to this kit would probably be the tourniquet and the hemostatic gauze when it comes to beefing up my first aid kit. All right, next up, we're going to talk about the budget EDC flashlight I talked about earlier. What I chose on here would be the TUNENGE S5. The reason why I chose this one is because number one, it's compact. 2, it is rechargeable. It does have that aerospace aluminum construction. It does pack a punch when it comes to lighting. And what the biggest thing, what I found on this was, it does have an extremely strong magnetic tip. So you can actually take this, plop this down maybe underneath a hood. If you're having mechanical issues at night, you can just plop this onto your vehicle somewhere to help you out when you're working on your vehicle, and it'll keep your hands free. So again, this is the TUNENGE S5 flashlight. All right, next up, what you want to get yourself is some Mylar emergency blankets. We did have ones in the first aid kit, but I do have some extra ones. This is the Life BV emergency Mylar blankets. This is extremely important. So I live in Canada, and some of the winters can get very cold. So if I don't carry a blanket, I can resort of using an emergency blanket. to help myself. Now, it's very important that it'll help prevent hypothermia. You could be waiting for roadside assistance for hours. Keeping yourself warm is very important when it comes to surviving some of those situations that can present itself when you're traveling in your vehicle. Next up, you want to have some type of tool. So in this kit right here, I do have my Leatherman Skeletool. This is a staple of my EDC carry. It does have everything you need from a blade, screwdriver tips, the can opener to pliers, something as simple as using pliers for pulling out cable ends, or even taking this and taking off like hubcaps or lug nut caps. So this is very important to have a multi-tool on any car emergency kit. Next up, we're going to talk about fire starting. So the reason why I have a fire starter in my emergency car kit is if you're stranded somewhere, I'm not saying you're going to build like a campfire on the side of the road, but in an absolute emergency, you can use a fire to maybe signal somebody. If it really comes down to it, building that fire to help protect yourself and to keep yourself warm if you're out in the woods traveling, waiting for roadside assistance to come. So I do have some waterproof matches, and then we're using a Ferro rod as a redundant fire starter is very important. All right, next up, I've got some Paracord. And the reason why I have this is because this basically takes up no space at all, but when you do need it, it's invaluable. You can use this in many ways, as in tying down a bumper to actually making a makeshift emergency shelter if you are stranded. So get yourself some good Paracord because it takes up zero space, but you can actually use it in 100 different ways. All right, the next item what you want to carry is you want to carry a high capacity power bank. You want to have at least 20,000 milliamp hours. And the reason for this is because if you're stranded and you need to charge up your phone, get a hold of somebody, or even using some of the newer phones that have GPS built in, this is probably the only way you can be able to contact somebody if you're stranded. Please get yourself a good quality power bank for emergencies if you're traveling. All right, that is the full kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my final thoughts. All right, here's the verdict. If you're serious about having emergency gear in your vehicle, gear that covers you when something actually goes wrong and not just a flat tire, this is the build I would start with. The trauma kit, budget, tactical flashlight, and the multi-tool. Those are your 3 non-negotiables. Start there and then start building up in stages. So I might be a little bit over-prepared or paranoid, but I would rather have this all and never have to use it than need something from this kit if I don't have it. And that is it for this one. If you got value in this, hit subscribe. I've got a lot more kit builds and gear testing coming this way. And let me know in the comments, what is the one piece of emergency gear you will never leave without? I'm just curious. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.